Yeah, so many of you know Dr. A.K. Tharien, or Tharien Appachan as he's fondly called. He was the founder of Christian Fellowship Hospital, Oddanchatram. Dr. Susheel is the eldest son of Dr. Tharien. He did his schooling in Oddanchatram, his undergraduation in CMC Vellore, and also trained in psychiatry in Vellore. He's presently practicing in ODC as a psychiatrist and also conducts seminars on marriage and family across India. His wife, Dr. Valsa, is an ENT surgeon, and they have one daughter, Deepa, who is married. He has been actively involved in the Pachalur camp for many years and been a big blessing to many medical and dental students. So we look forward to hearing his inputs to some of our questions about the history and origins of the Pachalur camp. Just to give everyone an idea, especially those of us who are attending this for the first time. And it is our prayer that it will be an encouragement to all of you. So.
Good evening, sir. We would like to start by asking what the purpose of starting this Pachalur camp was, and about its origins, and what some of the challenges you had to overcome when initially starting it.
Yeah, I was not actually directly involved in the beginning. It was actually on Mr. Varadaraj, who has been an evangelist traveling all over India. And as he was mostly in visiting North India, found that many of the mission hospitals had closed down. More than 1,500 mission hospitals were there at the time of independence, and more than half that had closed down by then. So because people are not, the hospitals which are started by missionaries, there were nobody to take it up and then run it and continue it, and so that is a sad state. So he felt a concern that the vision of the medical mission should be given to the medical students as they are training. So he was interested in talking about that. And meanwhile, similar concerns were there. The group of medical students in Vellore, in Chennai, and Chengalpet and other Tirunelveli, Madurai and other places. They were meeting together as prayer groups. And so this is a time that EMFI was getting formed. So Mr. Varadaraj and two others, they felt they could call medical students in Tamil Nadu and meet together. In Oddanchatram, there's not enough place to meet, so the Amblike Christian Fellowship Hospital there they met. And initially the fees was just 10 rupees per person for 4 days. And we can they stay there, very minimum facilities. So I remember going for one of those meetings in Amblike. There may have been about maybe 20 students from Vellore and Madurai, and the people used to just drop in one by one. Not a very formally organized meeting, but something like a retreat. And they had meetings, and they went on for 2-3 years. Then more people were interested, and there was a need to meet in a place. This is the time when the Pachalur place was bought by the Oddanchatram Hospital, and it belonged to a forest ranger. So it was an old bungalow there. So that's where not much facilities. So we used to meet there as to medical students and young doctors, and meetings are all in the open, most open area, in the coffee plantation there or on the rocks, and they would just huddle together to sleep someplace, another place for the girls and one place for the boys. It's like a very, it's a very maybe like a camping facility only. Like a rough camping. So, and then Mr. Varadaraj used to come every year, and then Dr. K.O. John, who was working as a surgeon here, used to come, and every year he used to come and take sessions. And then slowly more and more people started coming, and then the meeting hall was built, and there the main meetings take place. And now currently we have a much bigger place, bigger hall for large people to meet, and we have place to stay. Even now, it's not like a regular, well-established camp. Even now, even in spite of all this, staying together is like a rough staying only. In a way, it is good. We are talking about missionary work and missions. It's good that we live in not in a very comfortable setting, but a rough setting and get used to that kind of thing, and then we meet together and a good fellowship. That's how it has evolved. So it is not really a well-planned program that has come now as it is now. It started informally, gradually it's evolved into a program. And now the EMFI has taken an active part, and the EMFI is now conducting that. It's all evolved like that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It was interesting to hear those things. Sir, could you remember any particular memory of that camp which stands out for you? And how do you see the impact of the camp, sir? If you could share some examples of people who have been benefited by the camp, that would be helpful to so many of us.
Yeah, that's very difficult to answer. I cannot remember any particular incident like that. I think most people enjoy that the place, being on a hill, and people always busy with their studies. It's really good to come away from your studies, from your anatomy, bones, and the patients, and all them. Come away and on a hilly place, beautiful scenery, and meet students from other medical colleges. Some of the students probably they're meeting first time somebody of similar idea from other medical colleges. So that is something new. Every year it's a refreshing experience. Actually, I was just thinking about that. Almost every doctor today in the mission hospital, especially in the North India, have gone through this Pachalur camp. And if you ask many of them, they'd say, how did you get this idea? Oh, I attended Pachalur camp and this such and such a year. Many of them in the EHA hospitals all have come through the Pachalur camp. I was talking to the head of the Department of Child Psychiatry, Dr. Russell, some time back. And he said at that time he attended Pachalur camp. And even the president of the National IMA, he used to attend the Pachalur camp. So I think, it's not just one particular camp. This over the years, somehow what they come to attend, and some spark has been ignited in their lives, and that has really gone through. Just before you called me now for this call, I was talking to Mr. Varadaraj, asking him how did he get this vision, and he just told me the story, and I was telling him what you had started with your concern. It was a spark that has ignited the lives of so many people. He had moved away slower that others are doing. So it's been a dynamic thing, not that he's holding on to this thing, anything like that. But I was just telling him how the spark that he had started. I was thinking something like Jesus said, the yeast, that starts fermenting and then it takes on. That is how the impact of Pachalur camp had been. And when somebody from outside had also attended camp, they were saying it's not a person who's connected to us, somebody outside attended. Said, such high quality sessions. That was his comment. Where do you get these resource people, such people with experience? I think that is true. It's not that we have been planning and getting, but these are the real life experience of people working in missions, coming and sharing with young people, and that God has used their experience to touch the hearts of people.
Thank you so much, sir. I really hope that Pachalur camp continues to have this impact in the years to come also. And so over the years, what are some of the changes, if any, that you've noticed in the camp or in those joining regarding missions? And what are your hopes and dreams for the future of the camp, sir?
See, over the beginning, it was, as I told you, it was really a tough life coming to Pachalur, and people had limited resources. And over the years, sometimes people come quite like big the buses and big musical instruments, and it looked as if it is becoming a luxurious thing, or like a show they want to put up. I was a little sad to see that kind of changes coming in, but that concern was raised by some others also, and then sometimes we had meetings with groups of medical students in the EMFI office, and we discussed and said that no, this should not be like a intermedics meet or something like that. It's not a place to show off your college or who has done better and things like that, but it should continue to be a time when we all meet together and have fellowship together. And the music and drama, although they are all very good, that really makes the whole thing enjoyable, but that should not take the center stage. But the missionary challenge, and the call to follow Jesus, that should not be diluted in all this. It is not primarily an evangelistic camp, though that takes place. That is as a byproduct that happens. There are people who come to meet Jesus for the first time after coming. That has happened. Good. We hope that will happen also, but that is not the primary aim. His primary aim is to present the missionary challenge of our country to the young medical students and young graduates. What else? Yeah, and also this is good that each college students participates and take a leadership to organize. That gives them an experience how to how to conduct camp, how to meet the finances, things like that. And also, I'd like everybody to know that this good place that we had, we almost lost it because the government put some old rule and wanted to take over the whole place. And by God's grace, we are gone to the court, and just so happened that the judge happened to be a Christian. I don't know if it's because of that or not, but judgment came in favor of us, and we got the place back. So that's when we in Christian Fellowship Hospital realized that God is giving this place back to us, and it has to be used more and more for God's purpose, and more people, not only the EMFI, not only the medical students, but others also, make use of the place. And by God's grace, we have a good caretaker and his wife, an engineer and the architect. They left a well-paying job in the Gulf and came and are staying here with a meager salary. They are happy to conduct various camps. So, this background, this all, I think, should be told to the people who are attending the camp, so that they don't take, they and we don't take things for granted, that realize that it is something that God has provided and continuing to provide and support.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It is our prayer that many more medical students will take the responsibility to continue this beautiful thing that God has started forward. To close, do you have any parting words for the participants of the camp this year, sir?
Yeah, I'd like to say, consider this as one of the rare opportunities that you have to meet together. You don't get it much like this always. And also, it's a good opportunity, as somebody has said, people working in mission areas, they come and give the input. That also you may not get always. And consider this as an opportunity that God is giving you to open your hearts to listen to Him, away from the busyness of your studies and patients, to be quiet, and an opportunity for you to listen to God and enjoy your time in Pachalur. It's a good place, it's a beautiful scenery, and enjoy the fellowship.
Yeah, I think that is all, sir. We can end the thing here. So thank you so much for your
Thank you.
time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you for accepting.
Thank you.